folks, this is Jason Good with the Good Life Outdoors. I just bought a used 2018 Ford F-150, and today I'm going to walk you through it, give you a little review, tell you what I like about it, tell you what I plan to do with it. So I hope you stick around. Let's get started. So here she is, the 2018 Ford F-150. This is the XLT model. It has the 4 full doors in the Super Crew and a longer 6.5 foot bed. It is a 4x4. It has the FX4 off-road package, which gives you a locking rear differential. And it has the 3.5 liter V6 Ecoboost engine that gets 375 horsepower and 470 foot-pounds of torque. This engine is a beast and it's a lot of fun to drive. I've got the 10-speed automatic transmission, which is nice and smooth. And it's overall been a great truck so far. I'm going to walk you through some of the things I like about it, show you some of the things I don't, and tell you what I plan on doing with this thing. So you may be asking, well, why'd you buy a new truck? Didn't you just post a video about keeping a truck past 200,000 miles? Well, yeah, I did. And I love that truck. It was a 2007 F-150. Also a 4x4, had the 5.4 liter V8 in there, and it was a fantastic truck. But it was 14 years old, and it was getting a little rattly, and quite honestly, I just wanted something a little newer. Something that I could kind of make my own and kind of start from scratch. And so one of the things I really wanted in a truck was this longer bed. Having that extra foot, even so far, just buying this thing has come in useful, and I wanted to have that extra space. And then of course just the modern amenities. I mean, having the navigation and the heated seats and all the stuff that I didn't necessarily ask for, but I've been enjoying so far. Having a much more powerful engine has been really, really nice. Now, I got the most powerful engine back in 2007, and so I did the same here, and I'm hoping to get a lot of miles out of this one, and it's really nice to have that get up and go when you need it. So why did I buy used instead of new? Well, cost. Have you priced a new truck lately? They're expensive. Brand new truck will run you easily $50,000 and well above that depending on how you equip it. I was able to get this for about $20,000 less than its original sticker price, and I was really happy with that. The used car market right now is really hot, and so it's hard to find deals. And so when I found this one that had the long bed, that had the center console, stuff that I was looking for, I jumped on it. Now, I had 55,000 miles on it when I bought it, and that really didn't scare me. I'd been doing a lot of research on the Ford trucks, having owned one in the past. I wasn't too concerned with a higher mileage truck. I plan on putting a lot of miles on it myself. The fact that it's gotten to 55,000 miles without any major repairs needed per the Carfax, I was pretty pleased with that as well. So it gave me the leverage to have a nicer, newer truck. Even though it has a few more miles on it than maybe some people would be comfortable with, I didn't have a problem with it at all. One thing about buying a used truck, it's already worn in. The person who had this before obviously used this as a truck. You know, the bed's kind of scratched up. There's a couple little dings in the paint. And, you know, quite honestly, I don't mind that. The fact that it's been used as a truck is pretty cool. So driving the truck is very comfortable, and that's what I was looking for in upgrading from my 2007. It's smooth, it's quiet, everything's laid out well. There's a lot more buttons on this steering wheel, and so I had to learn all of that, but it's fairly intuitive. And being able to have, you know, the information on the dash as far as being able to switch through the truck's computer of kind of the trip information or what the tire pressure is doing is kind of nice. It's a nice quick glance at what the truck is up to. The information center or the entertainment center is nice and intuitive. I'm using the navigation a lot more than I thought I would. It's nice to just kind of type in where you're going, even if you know the way, and be able to kind of look at a glance and say, okay, here's how long I have to my next turn, here's how long it'll take for me to get there. I can communicate, okay, I'm gonna be there around said time to anybody I'm meeting up with. So yeah, definitely an upgrade over my last one, and I I'm really enjoying it. It's a comfortable ride. Now the interior of the truck has the setup I was hoping for, which has the bucket seats with the center console. And I'm really liking the center console, even though it is just cavernous. There is so much space in there. Another thing I like about this is the space under the rear seats. There is so much room, and the fact that this floor is flat all the way across, and that you have this little storage compartment here. I like carrying a lot of stuff in my truck. You know, I like being prepared. I have tools, I have gloves, I have tie downs, and it's really nice to be able to put everything down, have it somewhat out of sight, and have that storage space. Now, Ford definitely had connectivity in mind with these trucks. This is in the back seat. There's a cigarette lighter port, 2 USB, and a regular plug. I think this goes up to 400 watts, so you can use that for charging equipment. And that's pretty cool. I use this keyless entry, had it on my old truck, and I love having it, just being able to not worry about keys and still be able to access the truck. Also has a sliding power rear window. That's kind of nice. Here's one of the options that I wasn't necessarily looking for, but it's kind of cool. It's the tailgate step. So Ford's been doing this for quite some time, but I've never had a truck with this on there. But you push this in and release the step, it drops down, and you can step up here. And if you need a little bit more assistance, you've got a handle. Now, if you're needing to kind of keep going back and forth inside the truck bed, it's nice to have. One of the things I do like about this bed is it has bed lights. And those are pretty neat. You can turn them off and on from the bed and from the cab and kind of see what's going on. I had installed some in my old truck, and I just like having that. Now, one bonus when I bought this truck was that it came with fairly new tires on it. These are Goodyear Wrangler, the all-terrains. I've never run these on a truck before, but I've heard really good things about them, so I'm really curious to see how they wear. So far, they've been great for driving around. They're fairly quiet on the road. I've gotten out in some mud and rocks and everything, but nothing to really test them out to the full extent. I've put them on the sand from the beach. So far, so good. So I won't have to worry about these for quite some time. One of the other things this thing has is the maximum towing package. Now that means that this truck, as it stands, can tow up to 13,000 pounds. Now I may never need to tow that much, but I'm glad to know it's there. And the big part I really like about that towing package is it comes with the larger gas tank. It's got a 36-gallon tank to it, so I can go for a long while. Now, as I've been averaging a little lower gas mileage than I expected, I am still able to get easily 500 miles on a tank and even more. And that's fantastic. With my old truck, it had a 30-gallon tank on it, and with its kind of poor gas mileage, I was kind of brushing the quarter tank mark at 250 miles. So this gets me a lot farther down the road without having to fuel up. I like that. Now there's a few things I'm not as satisfied with on this truck. The first and foremost is gas mileage. The EPA rating on this is 18 in the city and 25 on the highway. I've gotten nowhere close to that. My average tanks lately, when I've been doing the hand calculation, has been around 16 miles per gallon, and that's a lot of highway miles. So a little disappointing on that. I've heard mixed reviews on that. Now granted, this truck is fun to drive, and I do kind of tend to get on the gas some, but I have done some purposeful economical driving and it hasn't made much of a difference. So something to look into to see how I might be able to improve that gas mileage. The other thing I'm not real thrilled with is it has the auto stop. When you come to a stop at a stoplight, the engine shuts off. I don't know about that. I mean, I understand they're trying to do that for gas mileage. It's not getting any better gas mileage doing it, and it's kind of annoying, especially at night when this thing restarts. The headlights kind of flicker, so kind of everybody around you knows that you just restarted your vehicle, and it's kind of weird. And I'm just not a fan of it. I'm worried about kind of wear and tear on the starter, wear and tear on the engine of stopping and starting like that. So you can turn that off, but you have to remember to do it. And usually I remember to do it when the engine shuts off, which means it has already done it. But that's just kind of a little bit of a gripe. So I've already done a couple of things to the truck. One of the first things I do, if it doesn't already have it on any vehicle I have, is put in all-weather floor mats. Now, I'm here in Texas. I'm doing a lot of stuff with hunting and fishing. Carpeted floor mats just don't work for me. So I bought the Husky floor mats. These are the all-covering floor mats, and they've been pretty good so far. I'll link to these down below in the description. I also added on some LED headlamps and fog lamps, as well as reverse lights. With 55,000 miles on this thing, the headlights seemed a little dull, and I've had really good luck with putting some LEDs in here to kind of give a better field of view at night. I like to be able to see really well at night, and these have made a big difference. So I will also link to those down in the description. So what do I have in store for this thing? I can't leave well enough alone. I love being able to take a vehicle and make it my own. So a few of the things that are coming up pretty quickly are, I'm going to be doing a bed liner. Obviously this one doesn't have one, and I really like having a good protective covering over my bed just to be able to kind of throw things in and out of it and just kind of get some longevity out of the bed. So I'll be doing that myself, and I'll be posting another video on that. The Ford beds have an option of what they call a box link, and that is just their proprietary tie-down method, and it's some plates with some interchangeable cleats on them. I'll be installing those as well. It comes with the area to install them. This truck just happened to not come with them. And then a big thing on the bed as well is a bed cover, like a tonneau cover. Now I had one on my last truck. It really served me well. I love being able to kind of have that security of being able to lock up anything in the bed of my truck, have it away from prying eyes, and just be able to keep things relatively dry. More of an aesthetic option is the F150s, as an option from the factory, had an option of doing a two-tone stripe down here. I really like the look of that, and I couldn't find one that had that on there. So I'm actually going to look at a way to put a two-tone stripe on here without painting that. I've got that in the works, and so that's going to come as well. And then further down the road, I'm going to be looking at maybe doing a slight lift or maybe even a leveling kit on this thing when these tires wear out, maybe when the shocks wear out, to kind of bring this up a little bit and put a slightly large tire on there. I think especially with the longer wheelbase, I think these look really nice with a lift on them. So I'm going to plan on doing that much later on, but I do have some plans for that. Well, there you go, folks. The review and walkthrough of my new used 2018 Ford F150. Got a lot of good plans for this thing, and I look forward to having this for the long haul. I'm going to be putting together a playlist specific to building up this truck. And so I hope you follow along with that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification button so that you know when I post new videos on it. If you like what you saw today, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all get out there and live the good life. Thanks a lot.